Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Empress Aries 888. My name is Tanya. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you press that play button. Like on the way in, gives me an energetic donation to the channel, helps me tune into you. These are collective readings, so any energy, any sign, flip the roles as you see fit. Take what resonates and leave the rest, and let's get this party started by calling in spirit, shall we? Spirit guides and angels of your whitest light, please give me a clear message for the collective, one that brings healing, hope, and understanding of their situation. Protect me as I open myself up to channel, and protect my beautiful collective. Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you press that play button, my friends. Let's do it, and thank each and every one of you. Thank you. Namaste. Each and every one of you for tuning in, showing up, and showing out. I so appreciate you. All right, let's do a little Reiki, selenite stick. I'm doing it correct. Okay. Put this out of the way because I do got my sound bowl, baby. All right. Perfect. And then, of course, let's ring it in by calling in spirit, right? All of my ancestors. Lower the volume if you have to. I love that. Okay. As I mentioned, timeless readings. So let's see what the energy is. Spirit, give me a message here for the overall energy. I was thinking about this like today about certain people take situations on, and as an empath, we do that, right? If you're empathic and you take on the feelings of others, if you don't understand what an empath is, look it up. There is definitions, but it's really when you feel these feelings or you read energy, you feel like tired or sick or sad and don't know where it's from. Maybe you had a great day and you're starting off great and but nothing wrong with you. All of a sudden, something takes over you. That's empathic. You're picking up the feelings of others. And I feel like sometimes people do that with these readings. And what can happen with that is you manifest that into your life. So don't do it. If this doesn't resonate with you, don't take it on. And it's not going to be like there is past, present, and future energy always at play, but it doesn't mean this is going to be your future. Sometimes we can write our own future by being negative, thinking more of a situation, right? Look, it says here, fear. Somebody has fears. Maybe they fear that a connection is going to go south. And if you fear that, first of all, you have to look at the validity of it. Do you have real reasons for being afraid? That's a problem if you're afraid of somebody. If you're afraid that a relationship is going to go bad, what is giving you that reason? You could be intimidated, or somebody's intimidated by you, a person, or you're intimidated by your person. Oh my. Okay, and why is that? And everything's falling to the floor. You gotta expect that in my readings, friends. It happens every bloody day. You've changed, so somebody's afraid because you've changed. Do you still care? Oh boy. Maybe somebody feels like you're doing magic on them under your spell. Or because there's crazy chemistry. Oh, about never should have let you walk away. All right, well, Maybe they feel like you're unbothered by the separation between the two of you. Okay, there were fears here, though. Deception is here. Maybe they're acting like they're unbothered when they really are bothered, is what that sounds like to me. Okay, but like I'm saying, let's go back, because I can get sidetracked, as you know, if you've ever watched my channel. And thank you if you have. I appreciate you. I'm all over the place sometimes with this stuff. It's like, it goes here, it goes there. It's like, it's hard to focus. Who knows what that means? Could be ADHD, I don't know. I have that in my family. All right, so there's a fear that a person has. They were intimidated by you. Maybe your spirituality, because I did see religious factors, but I didn't take it. They were intimidated by you. There was changes that were happening. Maybe they always felt like you were better than them, which nobody should ever feel that way. Even if you have a certain knowledge or you have a certain intellect, doesn't mean that they should be intimidated. Nobody is better than anybody, regardless of their education, regardless of their status in life. Nobody's better than anybody. And maybe unknowingly or knowingly, you made that person feel like you were better than them. And I'm not trying to blame. In relationships, it takes two. And like I said, knowingly or unknowingly, your education, your vocabulary, your interests could have intimidated your person, whether you recognize it or not. Maybe they kept that on the down low. Maybe they tried to keep up, that type of thing. And they felt after a while, these fears creeped in. Maybe they were somebody they weren't. They deceived you, right? Because deception is here. Maybe they deceived you. They pretended that they had their shit together when they didn't. And they could only play that game for so long. And as it got more and more into the relationship, the mask slipped and they were showing their true, authentic self to you. Created a lot of problems. Maybe they felt like you changed. Maybe in the beginning, you became what they wanted you to be, right? You were doing a pretend scenario yourself, and you dumbed yourself down in order for you to fit in. Maybe you have to do that in certain instances with people. You've done it your whole life. Not necessarily a deception, but it is kind of how you've had to survive in family life or whatever. So you were just doing what you've always done, and you attracted this individual who felt like, oh wow, I found somebody that I'm smarter than them, or I'm the man or the woman, whatever. And all of a sudden your true self started coming out, and they were like, oh gosh, this person's changed. They're all of a sudden they're smart, all of a sudden they're using big words, all of a sudden they're like spiritual when they didn't show any of that stuff. Maybe they were surface. Now what the hell am I doing? I feel now they feel intimidated and inevitably cracking down on the situation, right? Whether it's ghosting you, whether it's talking down to you. Now there's attitudes where there wasn't any fights where there shouldn't have been, that type of thing. They felt like you changed. But really in life, as we grow up, we all change. We don't all stay the same. But they had a fear of this. It intimidated them. You intimidated them, your intelligence. And when you changed, it says, do you still care about me? They were worried about that. But they played games in order to dumb you back down again, or even put you down, which is like terrible. They never should have let you walk away. So you walked away from a situation, or they walked away from a situation. Take what resonates, flip the roles, and don't take it on if it doesn't belong to you. They feel like you're unbothered by the separation. But there's a deception here. They felt like maybe you were doing magic on them, or they felt like you were controlling them, and they started balking. They started maybe even cheating for some people. They started showing that they were the boss, and it changed the dynamic. But I feel like it started with you dumbing yourself down for this person. And I'm not saying they're dumb. I'm just saying that you had a far greater intelligence than you were showing in the beginning of the connection. And then because the mask slips, right? If we are what we are, eventually it's going to come out. You started using bigger words, or your interests were different than theirs. Maybe their interests are more social, your interests are more introspective, politics, whatever the case. I can't take all this. And it created a chasm, like this huge difference between the two of you. All of a sudden, it was like, I don't even know this person. This person's so different from me. I feel like a dummy compared to this person. Or the other scenario is that they like, let me say it, talk slow because I'm from this I'm from this area, man. It's like I talk fast. Hang on. Maybe that person does too. One of both of you talk quick, talk fast. Anyways, maybe they not dumb themselves down. Maybe they elevated themselves, like used bigger words, or tried to marry you, tried to keep up with you, and then their mask slipped, and you realized that they didn't have as much depth as they pretended to be, or their interests really weren't in the areas that you were interested in. And now you feel like, wow, they've changed. But they didn't change. They were always the same. This is who they are. I can't stop thinking about you, so this person can't stop thinking about you. They feel like you don't care. You walked away. But they're under your spell. So they're still thinking about you. You might even randomly think about this person, or like I said, if you're an empath, you take on the feelings of other people. You might feel their maybe anger, their sadness out of nowhere because you had a connection with this person. But maybe they feel deceived by you, that you just walked away with no feeling about it. But clearly you had a feeling about it, but it was like there was this difference between the two of you. It was like you didn't change. You felt like maybe they changed and they treated you differently. There was chemistry, but that could have been all there was. But you might have jumped into a situation that you weren't really, I don't know, I feel like maybe you jumped into this connection too quickly. Both of you, maybe. Air energy is here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Could have that in their chart. There's a lot of sadness that's here, grief. It's not that you didn't care. I feel like you just felt there was a difference between the two of you that you couldn't, I don't know, you just couldn't, not match, but you just couldn't meet each other where you were at. And the other thing that could happen is that you've known this person since you were a child or young, grew up together, known each other for a damn long time, and you did change. Your interests change. As you grow up, you change. And this person couldn't handle your changes. Earth energy is here too, or is Virgo, Capricorn, or could have it in your chart. That's what probably happened here, is that you've known this person and your interests changed as you got older. Maybe this person was the sun, moon, and the stars to you, and then as you got older, maybe you had children, your focus started going in a different direction. Maybe world events started really catching you, and it was a deep thing, like, I have children, now I got to change. Not change, but my interests are like, now I got to worry about their future, and I got to worry about what's going on in life. And it was like maybe your whole life was focused on this person, and now all of a sudden it was outside this person, and they got jealous. They couldn't handle that you were focusing on something other than them. Maybe you were always focused on them, running after them. And then you started growing up and realizing, I can have interests of my own, or I have interests of my own. The chain broke when you had children. Not that how do I explain this, Spirit? It's like, of course you feel connected to the person giving you children, but it's like now you have an outside interest outside of them. Like, they're not your whole damn world anymore. It's like now you have these kids. And then if things are going on politically or environmentally, and you're like, oh my God, these kids are going to be inheriting this crap. Now your focus is on other things, and they're like, what about me? Do you still care about me? It's almost an immature energy. Like, you had chemistry, but now your interests were inevitably this happens. Hello, you get older. You're not always going to be like running after this person, but this person is a type that wants that attention. Maybe they feared you didn't give a damn about them anymore, right? They were intimidated by your intelligence. They were intimidated by your love. Maybe it suffocated them in some way. Maybe they love the attention and they got intimidated because you were putting your jealous. I think it's jealous more than intimidated, but they got intimidated by your intelligence. They got intimidated by the connection. It was like all of a sudden it was suffocating to this person. It was like this person doesn't care about me anymore. This person cares about other things, and that's it. You know, they walked away or they went to other areas. They deceived you. They cheated on you. Whatever the case is, they ghosted you. They ended the relationship. You are so special to me. I feel like you treated them very special, and they didn't see that. I mean, they did see it. They wanted it more and more and more. It's like some people are like that. They just want that attention and they can't handle it when you give it to somebody else. Even your own children, believe it or not. If it's a man or even a woman, they can get jealous if you're showing attention to somebody other than themselves. You could have put so much time and effort. You could have known this person a long time. And when your attention deviated to something else, whether it's children, pets, whether it's your parents, whether it's somebody else, friends, all of a sudden this person felt like you weren't giving them the attention they were looking for, and they started looking outside of the connection. But you gave them that special love. Brave. I'm telling you, they're more intimidated by you because of your energy and your intelligence and all the interests you have and maybe how people love you. Equal give and take. This is what you wanted, and I feel like this is why it ended. And air energy too, you could have, even if you don't have any of these signs that I'm pointing out in your chart, meaning astrological signs, you could have that Aries toughness, you know, the air qualities of truth and clarity. Maybe you cut through the bullshit of this and said, hey, I'm not taking this shit no more. If you can't handle me and who and my interests and what I want, it's like put it on pause. Then we're done. And they couldn't, they were like, what the hell? Yeah, ghosted. Somebody ghosted you. Okay. And I feel like it's this person. They were no longer invested as much in the relationship as they was in the beginning. Because look, dictator, baby. Yeah, they wanted to control you. They wanted to control you. And all you wanted was equality. Okay. You either come correct or don't bother at all because I'm not playing this game with you. I'm not going to play this game with you. You should accept me. I'm not going to have the same interest as I had when we were kids. I'm going to grow up. I'm going to think of different things, not just you all the time. I feel like that's what happened in this case. And maybe they walked away and found somebody else that was going to be, running after them. I feel like it's an immature energy. You had more depth than they did. Confirm or deny, spirit. This is like in life, we grow up and we don't always think the same way as when we were kids. And even if you weren't a child per se, interests change when you have other things that you're focusing on. Say all you had was this person, now you have an animal. Well, an animal expects attention. You got to walk them, you got to feed them, put love and attention and effort into the person. There's dogs. I mean, dogs got to be walked. Let's face it, you can't always be running after your person when you got responsibilities. That's the point. You had responsibilities. And that took your attention away from this person who is in their ego and wants attention all the time. They constantly want attention. And it wasn't realistic, especially if it was children. I mean, but there are people that are very jealous of when you give attention to kids. And it makes no sense because they're your kids. But if they're used to you being on top of them all the time, and all of a sudden now your attention goes to somebody else, man, they got a problem with it. Privileged lady. So they could have went towards a privileged lady who is a thief. Okay, that was a good choice. Yeah, that's a good choice. All right, give me some more information on this situation. The thief. Spirit. Yeah, main female. Okay, they made them the main female in this scenario and walked away from you. But they're a false person, this person, and a thief. Oh gosh. They could have married this person, or you could be married to this person. But I think they could be marrying this person, or they married this person outside of you, got rid of you. You could have been married. There's changes here. All right, let me think here. There's a couple of scenarios here. There always is. Wealthy man in the reverse. Pathway, straight ahead. Death. There you go. Okay, and this is the main masculine in this situation. All right, so if this is the scenario that I'm thinking about, there's two that it could go in any direction. Don't take it if it doesn't fit your situation, please. You treated this person like the sun, moon, and the damn stars. But once you had responsibilities, you deviated that to somebody, to whatever it was, pets, animals, education, whatever it was, the political environment. Now they went and gone towards somebody else, okay? Because they felt like they needed that attention. So they put somebody else on a pedestal, all right? But this person was a thief, is a thief, will be a thief, right? Past, present, and future. They made this person their main female, and energy does not have a gender. Could be a man they made, who knows? But this person's not true. They're a false person. They could have married this person, okay? Change happened between the two of you. They got rid of you, okay? No longer wealthy, though, because money situation's tight in this connection with the thief. They're in your pockets all the time. The pathway, though, they want a different pathway. They want an ending to whatever connection that they got into. That's one. Second, they made you the privileged lady, or you were the one privileged lady in their life. And they thought that you put them on a pedestal. They were your privileged lady, even if they're a man. Okay? But this person was a thief. They could have taken from you, right? But oh man, how am I going to say this? Because there's so many damn scenarios. I'm thinking it's all jumbled in my damn head. They could have felt like you robbed them of time, energy, and age. They could have felt in their mind they made you the privileged lady. You were their main squeeze or whatever, but you weren't true because you changed up on them. So they married you, and all of a sudden there was changes, and they couldn't handle it. So now there could have been situations in your life where you struggled back and forth, right? So they're blaming you for that. So they took off and ended this connection based on that. They felt like I gave this person everything, and they screwed me over. Okay? Now I can't get back that time, that effort, that energy, all that stuff that I put into this person, and they went towards somebody else. Now there's somebody else that there's main male. Yep, that could have happened in that scenario. Main male. And that could be a female. Doesn't matter. But they could have more masculine in their energy, but they went towards somebody else because they thought you lied to them or you treated them differently, and they were done with you. That's it. They thought you robbed them of time, energy, and effort. And it just is that you were different. And you changed up. Yeah, you may have changed up, but it doesn't mean go cheat on you. What the hell's the matter with this person? Seriously. Anyways, let's see what we have here. We've got a couple of tarots, and things are just flying on the floor. As always, Spirit, thank you. The ghoster. Yeah, so they could have ghosted you. I'm going to take that one. They could have ghosted you, left you for somebody else because they felt lied to. They felt deceived. And it's like, it's all about them. That's the problem. It's always about this person. They don't think about nobody else but themselves. They don't think that, well, you had kids, time changes people, that you had to give more focus. Oh my God, really? Well, if that's the case, my friend, they did you a solid. Open the door and let them out. This person needs to grow up. They need to grow up. They got problems. If they think you're the one that's the problem, they need to recognize that you were always there for them. Look at this. Yep, they could have S in their name, or it's a shit show, basically. Wherever they're going to, it's going to be a shit show. Okay, so you'll be grateful you're not involved in that nonsense. Danger is in the reverse. Like I said, there's fears here. Maybe you were afraid for a while, but I don't feel like you're afraid anymore. I feel like you held on to this person because you didn't want to be alone. You held on to this person because they made you a wife. They gave you children. But I feel like in the end, they did you a solid. That was divine protection here because they weren't helping you out in life, acting like this. They need to grow up. The holier than thou in the reverse. Life is teaching this person. That attitude they have. That attitude they have ain't going to help at all. The poster. It could be on social media a lot. They could be posting things like, yes, it's so great to be alone. It's so great to be single again. It's the trap of people, false people say they can't. Yeah, they're going to be, please. Please. You can do all the memes and gifts you want. Gifts, whatever the hell it is. It ain't going to change nothing. You were like solid, stable. This was a long time. You know how long it takes to make a tree? I remember having a little Christmas tree. It took forever to grow this little Christmas tree in the yard. You were solid, stable. This went on for a long damn time. Somebody has too many cats. Change that kitty litter box. I'll tell you what. It's like there's such a immaturity here. Such an immaturity. I feel like they felt deceived by you, but really they're the ones that couldn't level up. Basically, bottom line, they couldn't level up. They couldn't keep up, is what I'm hearing. And that's fine. I mean, that's fine. So delete. They deleted you. They deleted you, right? And road trip. So it's like endings. Moving on. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you had to travel to get the hell out of there. Somebody's going to be catfished. Somebody's being catfished. It could be your person traveling to go to a situation. Ooh. Used car. They may have a used car. Justice is here, though. Because you're going to have a new beginning. If you had to start from scratch, get a new apartment, have a new job, whatever the case may be, it's going to work out for you. And the game has been played. In the end, they're going to be played by somebody else. Somebody could be into VR, but I feel like this is the life they want, a virtual reality. And it's not reality. They feel like a zombie, this person. They could be walking around like the Walking Dead because they don't have your energy anymore. They don't have the effort and love that you put into this person. They have an illusion. They're delusional, is what I'm hearing. If they think that life is going to be better without you there supporting them, I don't think so. Time changes people. It doesn't make you a liar. And even if you got into a marriage with a person, which I think you got into a marriage very quickly with this person, I think you got into a relationship very quickly. That's a journey. That's something you need to learn on your journey, baby. Don't jump into stuff, regardless of how charming and sexy and wonderful this person is. You got to get to know a person first before you put a ring on it, or before you even allow somebody to put a ring on you. God help anyone who disrespects the queen. Yeah. Long live the queen. Amen. They found out the hard way. Fucked around and found out you weren't going to play. They weren't going to intimidate you. They weren't going to threaten you. Leave. Okay, they thought they were going to they thought you were going to chase them if they did this shit. Journey, travel, distance. This is what I'm hearing. You had to travel, or you are going to travel. There's a distance between the two of you now. And they created that with their nonsense. Love spell, potions. They could be using love spells, but it's in the reverse. It's not working. Whatever they're working on, it's not going to work. They're trying to get you back. They're trying to manifest you. Not part of the plan. Adding problems. Try something. This person added more problems to this connection, and it only screwed them over. Eye to eye with the demons within. They need to go within. If they need that much attention, and they're the ones lying on you and saying you're the freaking problem, yeah, you need to wake up. If you want peace, prepare for war. This person put a lot of nonsense in the way of this connection. They made things so much more difficult than needed to be. They could have been honest and told you how they felt. They felt fear, they felt intimidation, but they wanted to play a game. They wanted to go back and forth with you. They felt intimidated by your intelligence. They felt jealous about your attention going in different directions, and they projected that all on you. And then they wanted to run up and ask for attention from other people as if you weren't going to find out. And they thought that you were going to chase them if they did this. And it did the opposite. You were like, deuces. You want to be deceptive. You want to be a cheater. Get the hell out. And that ended their connection. Now they're wondering what happened. It's their games. Okay, you've been played. You thought life was a game. Now you're learning. There's also an ending to every game too, right? Game over for you. Queen of Pentacles. You are going to be successful. You are going to be successful. You had a choice. Really was no choice. You had a decision to make. Okay? Two of Swords. Somebody wants to offer you their pentacle. A page, though. It's a page of pentacles. An immature energy. Maybe that was this person offering you their pay. You had a choice. You went towards this person, you jumped in too quick. 5 of Cups. It broke your heart. All these, these cups were empty. This person did not give you what you wanted, which was the Ace of Cups. You're going to have a new beginning and a choice again. The Lovers is here. A choice between. What is this? Somebody's a hidden enemy here. Hopefully it's not this past person. Somebody's coming in quick. Somebody is a hater in this situation. Maybe this person was a hidden enemy. Okay? It started out all sunshine and rainbows, and it turned into like you're running for your life out the door because they got a knife in their hands. Not literal. Knock it off. Don't be looking at your knife collection and counting. I'm saying this person does not want you to be happy without them. They're hating that you're happy. They're hating that you're prospering. Because look, 10 of Pentacles is here. And you're getting money, and this person now is saying, wow, they're doing better without me? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, because you were not, man. You were in the way. The sun is here. It's illuminating the truth. If you're doing better without a person, they were never your person. 10 of Swords. This person put you locked down. They didn't want you to move away from them. They didn't want you to move away from them. And they're pissed that you're getting a better life without them. Is what it is. Hangman's here. So Hangman is in the reverse. So you're no longer stuck with this person anymore. This person tried to lock you down, play games, and then only play them. Now you're moving away. Now you're successful without them. And they're like, what happened? What happened is you took a person for granted, you lied on the person, and then you played games with other people thinking that was going to make them jealous and come running. You played yourself, my friend. Game over. Spirit, give me a card so we can end this, please. But you keep moving forward, my friend, regardless of this heartbreak, regardless of this person who's probably still trying to contact you. They're going to come running back because they don't want you running away from them. And now you're successful. Oh, my God. It really boggles the mind sometimes, the games people play. But in the end, you can only worry about yourself. And I'm suggesting you do that because this is nonsense. Absolute nonsense. All right. For the Lord will vindicate his people and have compassion for his servants. Psalms 135:14. Okay. This is amazing. I love this one. I'm going to take this one. You are being vindicated. Justice is here for you. If they said anything to other people and lied to their family or to other friends groups that you had in common, making you out to be the devil, you changed up on them, you were a false person, you stole from them time, energy, money, possibly, they're going to find out, these people, that they're the liar, not you. So you just keep being your true, authentic self. Your success is going to be everything that you don't even have to sit there and justify yourself. Your success is going to be proof that what this person is saying is not true. They're the false person. They need to grow up. Not everybody's going to be chasing after them for the rest of their life. Okay? This gets old after a while, this nonsense. Thank you for joining me on Empress Aries 88. Please like and subscribe and join my tribe because I love to have you. Till next time, be safe out there, my friends. Be blessed.